From Carolla One Studios in Glendale, California, this is the Adam Carolla Show. Adam's guest today, from Young Rock on NBC, Adam Ray. With Gina Grad on news. And now, for Valentine's Day, he got you all a dozen years of podcasting. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. The truth is, I managed to get it on. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for telling a friend. We love that about you, right, Gina Grad?
That's right.
And, Bald Brian. So, Bald Brian and Chris are out of town.
They've romantically absconded together.
Right. So, we're doing the show with Gina, and Gary's stepping in as the producer, and then Adam Ray should be joining us momentarily. So, we'll tell you when he pops up, or you'll know when he pops up. Have a couple things to get into that Gina and I can discuss, because you don't need any expertise. It's a UFC question about UFC.
That was so funny.
You don't need any UFC expertise.
Good.
So I'm curious. First things first. I was watching UFC the other night, and when there's two guys, and I don't know either one of the guys, I usually just kind of root for the underdog.
Right.
But if the fight's kind of even and that there is no real pronounced underdog, then I root for the guy with the least tattoos.
Tattoos, yeah.
Right. But now there's another part of this I forgot about, which is if one guy is kind of jacked, I mean muscular and ripped and defined, and the other guy's kind of smooth, then I root for the dad bod guy.
Oh, as like a relatable UFC fighter, or
it's satisfying for the other smooth guys such as myself to watch the smooth guy whoop ass on the jacked guy.
And that's how it used to be, right? In days of yore, the 40s, 50s, the guys weren't yoked. They didn't have that kind of definition anyway. They were barrel chested, and that was about it.
Well, there were guys back in like the 70s, which now seems weird to be 50 years old, like in the Muhammad Ali era. There were guys that were really specimens, like guys like Ken Norton. But the Muhammad Alis, who are kind of smooth, kind of still got the best of them. So now, but here's the question, Gina Grad.
Yeah.
I found myself at a crossroads because the jacked guy only had one tattoo. The smooth guy had a ton of tattoos.
Yeah.
Now I got to figure out where my allegiance lie. Do I root for the tattooed guy because he's smooth, or do I root for the jacked guy because he doesn't have tattoos? And then I realized I had to kind of proclaim a winner. Like, I mean, I had to go one direction or the other.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
I think when it comes down to it, the less tattoos wins out, because for only the reason that if you're rooting for the smoother guy because he's easier to identify with, you don't identify at all with Mr. Body Modification. Mm-hmm. So you got to go with the guy with less tattoos. And you ultimately, you respect that guy's work ethic more because he's more rippled, and you can see the work and literally the pain and sweat he's put into that body. I think you go with the muscular guy with less tattoos.
But the thing about the body is, at that level, both seasoned UFC fighters, they both train real hard. One guy just has that body.
Right. But you do not relate in any way to the tattoo guy.
I know, but here's the problem. I didn't declare a major. I just sat there, and the big muscular guy just stomped across the ring, threw the tattooed smooth guy down on the ground, and immediately got on top of him and started working him. And I immediately found myself rooting for the tattoo guy because the big ogre guy walked across. Either way, the smooth tattoo guy ended up whooping the guy in the second round. Yeah, there's such a disconnect. Hey, Gary, I think it was...
Is it the main event?
No, I think it was the last prelim.
Okay.
The main event, both guys were yoked.
Yeah.
The last of the prelims, like middleweight, 170-pound, whatever, there is no direct correlation between the crazy physical specimens and excelling in almost any sport. It's so weird, right?
Because they have the glamour muscles. They're indicating to us that they should best anyone that gets in their way.
And also, we are poisoned by Hollywood because that's all we see is when, Hugh Jackman's got to get in the role of Wolverine. They just get all jacked up and cut up, and we're so used to it. But if you say, look no further than Tom Brady, but it works the same with the UFC. Now, there are yoked guys who win.
Oh, sure.
But, I mean, that's going to happen. But there is no direct correlation.
No, and you know what? I am willing to totally believe that and allow me to shit on my own point. And really, when they say that you have one finger pointing at somebody else, you got four, or at least three pointing back at you. How dare I suggest that who looks better is the healthiest, because we see examples every day, especially in women, of, well, just because you're not, walking down a runway doesn't mean A, you're not trying your fucking best, and B, that you're not really healthy. But you're right. We have been brainwashed to think this means good, this means bad, and never the twain shall meet.
To me, if you, we have the two guys up now.
Oh, wow.
The one guy, Rodolfo Vieira, is just an Adonis, and the other guy, Anthony Hernandez. It's also funny because culturally, the Latin guys are smoother than a lot of the Brazilian guys and stuff like that. But they move with a kind of fluidity, and they're even more effective. And never underestimate athleticism.
I'm sorry, you said Hernandez won?
Yes, he whooped him.
You know what? Now I'm going to take my profiling and go another way. He looks angrier because of the tattoos. So I'm not surprised that he won.
I got another UFC question for you, Gina Grant.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of women fighting in the UFC these days.
Yeah.
Dana White said 10 years ago, there'll never be a woman fighting in the UFC. Now, it's tons of women fighting in the UFC. I don't like watching women fight as much as I like watching men fight for maybe two reasons. One is I don't like women getting punched in the face. I just don't.
Even by other women.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't enjoy watching them getting punched in the face, number one. And then number two, I don't enjoy it, Gary.
No, I'm saying even by other women was a weird comment.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
What? Was it really? That doesn't even it out?
It's not as weird when a guy hits a woman in the face. But it's even as weird.
I suppose if, like, Ike Turner entered the octagon,
that's
it would bump me even more.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right, Gina.
Yeah.
But no.
As Brian would say, it's a rape gone wrong.
Also, the skill level's coming up a lot, but it's not quite as high as the guys. It's much more satisfying than watching, women's college basketball or something where you just would rather watch the pros or the dudes. But here's the question. They have the ring girls. Mm. And the ring girls are always out there in between every fight, in between every round. It's weird to see the hot chick out there with the two chicks sitting on their benches and they're sitting on their stools in the octagon. Should there be ring dudes for the chick fights?
Interesting.
Should we have some gay guy who's ripped up out there in the tight, Euro kind of bathing suit doing his stuff?
I hear you, but I have a definitive answer on that. And the answer is no. Because two reasons. The biggest reason is the ring girl isn't there for the fighters. She's there for the 10,000 people, screaming. And, so I don't think the dudes want to see the dude and his, ball huggers, walking around. So it's not for them anyway. Mm-hmm. But I think it's kind of cool. I think in a way, I mean, this is just off the top of my head because I've never been to a fight with women, except on Passover. But I think it makes the women look even more badass when you see the bikini girl in between them. That stark contrast is even more kind of electrifying.
Yeah. Adam Ray's joining us. We'll let him join this conversation. Gary says there are fighting associations that do have dude ring guys for the girl fights.
It's a recent thing, but yeah, it's something that's happened in the past year or two.
But it's for the audience. The audience doesn't want to see that. They're already seeing that with the guys fighting.
Well, I got two things that are going to ruin everyone's life in a second.
Right.
Adam Ray is here. Adam Ray's got a TV show coming out, premieres tomorrow, NBC.
Yeah.
That is Young Rock. So
the Peacock.
Adam plays
the Peacock.
The Peacock.
Not to be confused. Well, yeah, not to be confused with the Peacock streaming service, but the original cock, I guess, is NBC have been saying.
All right, I'm going to ruin everyone's life. Okay?
I'm prepared.
Because here's all you really need to know about life. You ready, Gina?
Yeah.
Adam,
I got a pen.
Tell me if you agree or disagree.
This is why I logged on.
Let's talk. Let's go right back to the octagon. Ladies fighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not talking about heavyweight division. Most of the women fight at, 125, 130, 135, a very, very fit weight. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
The two women who are in the octagon, who may be in their late 20s, have spent more than a decade dedicating their lives to mixed martial arts. Many of them got involved with jiu-jitsu when they were 11,
Sure. Yep.
And they spend every single day at a training facility doing that thing with the double rope. I don't know who figured out that move with the double rope. I think the Rope Association of America went,
big rope.
Yachting ain't what it used to be. We're not moving as much rope. There's no hangings anymore. We need to move rope. How do we move rope? People have...
And it would be nice if we could destroy someone's lumbar while we did it.
Yeah, like somebody just went, at some point, people went, we don't need rope. We have chains and we have cable. They're both stronger and easier to deal with. And then somebody went, what if we invented a crazy exercise where we just sold every gym in America 200 feet of our rope?
Fat kids in PE classes were starting to finally, crawl out of the entanglement. And so I think even a lot of schools were like, we don't need to be buying these anymore. We can buy scarves, and that will fill the time. You were going to...
No, I was going to say, it's interesting. They took the rope that used to hang from the gym that the fat kids could no longer get up, and they just took them down, and they put them horizontally, and they just, hey, fatty, you can do this, can't you?
By the way, I'll speak for the fatties. I could not do either. Getting up the rope was a challenge in and of itself. And by the way, shout out to the PE teachers that gave you that little extra boost. And no, it's not... I don't want to hear any of the teachers. Well, then you're touching the kid's ass, but you're boosting his self-esteem. So pick a lane.
Yes. Yeah. And don't take the center lane when you're boosting his self-esteem by putting your hand on his ass. Stay away from the divider. You go either.
Right.
Wait a minute.
Don't go to the median.
The center lane is a great, I mean, if for the guys out there that are looking to hook up on Valentine's Day, I'm sorry, or who were looking to hook up, if you're a guy and you're looking to make a first impression, calling a girl's taint/butthole the center lane, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, but it's a nice...
It's better than taint/butthole.
That's true. And
I'd rather someone refer to my center lane.
Well, Gina, you had a better upbringing than most.
It's a nice euphemism for wanting anal sex, like, honey, I'd like to park in the center lane tonight.
And then the woman's like, nope, pull over to the shoulder. Nope. If it steers, it clears.
You're like, but I put on my blinker. Okay, I don't even know what you're talking about anymore.
All right, spent too much time in the handicap parking. Handicap, I guess, is you getting blown on the toilet. I don't know. We'll work this out.
No, that's actually called a blumpkin, but go ahead.
Oh, it is.
We'll come back to this.
Well, so here's the thing. By the way, getting blown on the toilet, I need to know whether the lid is up or down. Because if you're sitting on top of the lid, that's fine. That just means you're in an airplane or, the kids are in the next room. But if the lid is up and you're on the toilet, now we're in a whole different hemisphere here.
Sure. Well, I'll take this one, Adam. I think most blumpkins start, first of all, the word blumpkin comes from, a lot of people are like, well, is that a blowjob from a pumpkin? Well, that's what a lot of people think, but that's impossible because a blowjob doesn't know how to perform. Look, every other week I spend time trying to teach kids how to perform sexual acts to get ahead, okay? Because, look, we can all do better. We can all try harder. We can all grab the shaft in a different part. So, look, when I was 11 years old, I picked up the bass clarinet, and I decided myself I was going to do one thing by the time I was 60. Get a blumpkin. And when you get a blumpkin, Adam, you said you're sitting down because it's like, you ever sit down in the recliner and you pull that lever and you lean all the way back and you go, oh yeah. And you put the bowl of Doritos right on your belly. Yeah. That's what a blumpkin feels like. Now, I haven't had one personally in the last 48 hours, but I will tell you this much. It's the equivalent of being a fat kid climbing a rope, getting to the top, ringing the bell, and then sliding all the way down, and just landing right on your teacher's head, and then accusing him of sexual assault, getting him fired, and then you get to become principal. We'll be right back.
Dr. Phil. All right, so here's the statement that is going to ruin everyone's life. But it's all you need to know about life. It's really all you need to know. We're talking about bodies and physiques and working out and all this kind of stuff. The women who fight at 130 pounds have spent 15 years without missing more than 2 days of an intense workout. Like I said, the jiu-jitsu starts in the 3rd grade, and then every single day leading up the fight was the double rope, shimmy, was sparring, was, weight training, and then now mixed with an intense diet and then cutting weight and putting on the hefty bag and sitting in the sauna and like drop cutting weight and the whole 9 yards. Those are what the two people who are sitting on the stool in between the rounds have done to get to that point. The ring girl who walks between them, same age, probably the same weight, has done nothing but blow Arab guys and vomit after they ate too much funnel cake. She looks better in her goddamn bathing suit than these two who have dedicated their life to working out. Literally dedicated their life to working out. The most intense workouts ever is a UFC fighter. And if you took your average ring girl and your average two opponents in a female UFC fight, and you put all three of them across on any given fight, 99 times out of 100, every dude in America would pick the ring girl to take home. That is sad.
It's very sad. Is it also because the men don't like those the cornrow ponytail that all the women have to put their hair in to fight and get punched in the face?
No, it's pure genetics. It's just pure genetics. There's nothing better than a genetic hand. All the ring girls, that's all genetic.
Yeah.
The other and the ring girls, they're too hot to fight. They're not gonna bust that little Barbie nose of theirs.
Not the moneymaker.
Not right. So Gina pointed to her vagina when she said, not the moneymaker. Right. So the other girls,
as well she should.
But the point is this. Next time there's some chick and she's in her bathing suit and she looks great by the pool and everyone wants to know what her secret is and she starts blabbing on about jicama, fuck that. Fuck that. It's genetic, man. It's how they look. It's your shape. And the ring girls are all selected for their shape. They all look fantastic, and it's not even a thing where it's like, well, the women are 200 pounds and the ring girls are 130. They're all the same size.
Yeah.
The ring girl does probably next to nothing in the workout department, is probably like I said, steady diet of Taco Bell and booger sugar, And the other chicks do nothing but eat chicken breast and work out with that double rope thing. And yet, aesthetically, at least the way we've shaped our society, we prefer the ring girl.
Well, I think we've, as a society, decided that no guy wants to hear a girl go, "Hey, do you want to peck fuck my tits?" And that is just something we decided as a society. I think in '94, I think it was when the Winter Olympics were happening. It got overshadowed by the Kerrigan-Harding scandal, but it was. Right. Look, I have seen a couple of these bodybuilding competitions live. Nate Bargatze and I did a show in Mesa, Arizona once at a venue that was a giant theater in Mesa. Yeah, sorry to brag, but we were at this venue, this big theater, and our show was in one end of it, and the other end was the bodybuilding competition. And so we shared a hallway, almost like just some backstage circus. And we're walking around and, chumming it up with some of the athletes, performers,
sure,
do-gooders. They're trying real hard, and they have hit the peak of physique. And I remember one of the gals walked by and she was like, "So what are you guys doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm in the competition." And she goes, "No, you're not." And I was like, "Well, yeah, obviously that was a joke. I'm clearly dressed like a guy who would jerk off at the competition, but definitely not in it." And then we started kind of getting to know some of their routines, and it's exactly what you said, Ad, like so strict, but also addicted to the workouts is what a lot of them, that was the common thing, was they love it for the performing, being on stage, all the accolades that come with it, maybe the trophies or the Uber pools you get to share, but they were all addicted to like the look. One of them at one point, I go, "What do you love about it?" And she goes,
"Oh."
She
just, and what I'm doing right now is I'm flexing my center lane. I'm flexing my. She did the crab. She what?
The crab.
Oh,
that's
she did the crab.
Crab move. Yeah.
I thought you said she took a crap. I was like, I don't know. I wasn't looking down there, but no, she flexed. She did the crab. She did both tries and buys, and she goes, "What do you?" And just did that, and there was silence, and she's like, and I go, "Oh yeah, that's pretty awesome," and it was, I guess, just like you said, not. It didn't. I was like, all right. I don't know. I don't know if I'm paying to see that, but
was moving through the hallway like going through a vertical slip and slide with all the banana boat oil and the dark tanner.
Oh, so much BB oil. It was like a giant slip and slide for body parts and just all sorts of taints and abs just rolling around. They all are so professional backstage too. Like it's not like a comedy club green room. Obviously, they're not chumming it up. They're just like lathering, and the small talk is just like almost like under the breath pump up stuff. Like, yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, somebody worked there. Their pecs extra hard today. Oh yeah. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna get a little nip flip right there. Yeah, and look at those. So and you're just like, God, these just get it over with. Go fuck, and then go out on stage.
As far as the green room versus backstage. Green room of the Comedy Club, probably many more stuffed potato skins consumed at the Comedy Club, for sure, than backstage at 1,000%. And also, the thing about the UFC is, when people go like, well, the men don't like those big muscular UFC fighters. They're not big and muscular. A lot of those ladies are smooth and 130 pounds. It's just the ring girls still look better in a fucking bikini. It's sad. Yeah. What I'm saying is don't bother trying. That's what that's the message.
This is like a almost like a verbal Rorschach test, because you couch this by saying our lives are about to be destroyed. I feel 10% better.
Total vindication.
Than when we started this. I feel great.
There's nothing
I can do about it.
Don't get fat. That's about it. You can't change your shape. Just don't get fat. If you don't believe my genetics, you can't change your shape. You really have to just look at one part of the human anatomy, and that is calves. There's skinny calves, there's muscular calves, there's the calves, there's the cankly calves. You see those women at the mall where the calf goes all the way down to the ankle. There's nothing they're going to do about it. There's nothing they did to deserve it. But by the same token, the ones with the skinny, angular, nice high calves, nothing. And guys that have been like playing, you take a guy like, I don't know, Jerry Rice. That guy's run more fucking gassers, more wind sprints, run up more sand dunes than anything. And you could take dude, I could go to the Home Depot 100 yards from now, 100 yards from here. I could go to the Home Depot. I could find a day laborer who's waiting in the day labor bullpen and find 3 guys who had better calves than Jerry Rice.
Ace Man?
Yeah.
Sad.
Sorry to interrupt, but
Sorry.
Because Brian's not here, I would be remiss if I didn't share this that he tweeted to you recently. This is calf porn that Brian saw on Twitter. This tennis player with amazing calves.
Wow.
Yeah. And why would a tennis player have amazing calves? He just does. It's not like, tennis.
He would say, if you said to the guy with amazing calves, where'd you get those amazing calves? He'd say, well, I've been playing tennis since I was 9. But then I can show you 100 tennis players who were playing tennis since they were 9 and don't have those calves.
Another great example of that, anecdotally, my uncle, Gary, who's just kind of, and I haven't seen him in years, but just kind of a big teddy bear kind of guy, not a weightlifter, nothing like that. But when we were kids, we always loved, he had these random big Popeye muscles that go from the wrist to the elbow.
Yeah.
Not from the elbow to the shoulder, not a bicep, just these big Popeye muscles. And we just thought they were so cool. Where he got them, who knows? No one else in the family has them, but I've never seen that on a real live human, not in cartoon form before. So that just came from nowhere.
Well, if season 2 of Young Rock gets a pickup, I'm playing Vince McMahon, and for this first season, I am, I'm in enough shape of big shoulders. I got a trainer for a month and a half to get some bigger delts and some better arms, and for the episodes I got, it works. Now, let's talk later seasons. Popeye arms, Popeye shoulders, Popeye back, Popeye cock. Everything's going to need to be upgraded. So, do I shoot up? Do I take HGH? These are the things we're going to have to discuss. Maybe the show can help me figure out a game plan. But I would love to get in touch with Uncle P, Gina, and see what because the wrist, you said it was wrist to the elbow?
Yeah, it's wrist to elbow. What is that muscle? Is it even a muscle?
Forearm.
Yeah, it's
forearm.
the calf of the arm.
Yeah,
totally.
Forearm.
Yes. Some
really
guys have that crazy with the big veins and the big ball that's in there, and then
I think with Vince, he did a lot of the the stress.
The stress ball.
The stress ball, or there's a little not a joystick.
They almost look like pliers.
So, exactly, yeah.
The little spring-loaded ones that they.
I guess he just always had that at his desk and was just pumping away, and so that'll definitely get you some definition, but there's got to be other things contributing to the giant veiny.
I will have probably God's assistance, but I'll tell you, as long as we're on this, I'll tell you about Crossrope. Staying motivated, easier when you do it together. February is American Heart Month, so join the 90,000 fitness enthusiasts on the journey to get fit, feel good with Crossrope. And they have we have Heart Jump Rope Challenge. Crossrope, patented jump rope system, combines low-impact cardio with full-body resistance training to help you keep your heart and body healthy. I use one of these things. Using a jump rope is good. It's good for rhythm. It's good for hand-eye coordination and all that kind of stuff. But using the Crossrope, the weighted rope, is better because you get the weight workout and the rhythm and the cardio. Durable steel ropes, ergonomic handles, and they have a fast clip system so you can swap out the different weighted ropes fast. 60-day risk-free money-back guarantee with Crossrope. Right, Dawson?
Keep your fitness journey going strong through American Heart Month with Crossrope. For a limited time, save up to $40 on Crossrope's most popular jump rope fitness bundle, the Get Fit Bundle, by going to crossrope.com/Adam. It's up to $40 off a Get Fit Bundle at crossrope.com/Adam, 80 a.m.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Adam Ray right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Adam Carolla, Gina Ball, Tim from Phoenix. Second time calling in. So inspired by listening to one of your podcasts about the Love Boat, I watched an entire episode on YouTube, and I was treated to the wonderful experience of having the dad from Brady Bunch, Loretta Swit, Hot Lips from MASH, Christy McNichol, and Scott Baio all starring in an episode from 1977. Absolutely loved it. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Adam Ray is with us. Young Rock's the name of his show. We have stuff to talk about. We also have the Rotten Tomatoes game to play. Switching gears to masking and COVID. So I had this experience yesterday. Took my son out to breakfast. A couple things. First is you have to eat out in the fucking parking lot. And the parking lot is not level. This particular place we go to, it's up on Foothill, and it's sloped down. So your fucking table looks like the the haunted shack from Knott's Berry Farm. The fucking plates like sliding off. It's like eating at sea during a storm. Basically, is how I would describe it. So it's like it's tilting hard one way, it's down the other.
It's listing.
Yes. Then you're sitting outside, and it's cold outside. So you order the scrambled eggs and the hash browns and the whatever, and the plate arrives. But 10 minutes later, the fucking shit's cold because it is cold. The air is cold. But with all that aside, we had a table next to ours was two couples. So there's four people, and I was looking at them, and they all sat down, and they were all double masked. They had the double mask. All four of them had the double mask. So, after me and my son got done making fun of them, quietly, but I'm trying to poison the boy. So we were making fun of them, and I was just watching them, and they're all just sitting there. They're double masked, and they're there for about 20 minutes. But then the food shows up, and all the masks disappear. And the next hour, they spend sitting there chomping down on food, talking to one another with zero masks. And I thought, I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of science this is. Like, what if you had a motorcycle and you went, well, I wear a helmet on the first mile, then I take it off, and I ride the next 2 miles without the helmet. Then the helmet goes back on again. Like, oh. Maybe it's better than never owning a helmet, but I don't know if it's that much better.
No,
look, I don't wear it.
Yeah. Well, I was saying if they keep the mask on the whole time, sure, great. But this is security theater. That goes under that umbrella.
Do you guys agree with this rule, which is if you go to a restaurant and you're double masked, when the food shows up, you're only allowed to remove one of the masks. You must eat through the second. That sounds fair. That sounds fair.
Kind of thought that's what I thought they were going to do. I mean, what's the point of the second mask is to have a pre-cut hole so that when you take it off, it's almost like, look, if we're going to equate this to like wrapping up before intercourse, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, look, just to let you know, to make you feel safe, and you say this at dinner, you're like, I'm wearing 2 condoms. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I literally just asked you if you wanted dessert. And he's like, I know, but I feel like I could pick up on what you were putting down. I'm wearing 2. But if at any point during this first time we make love, you're feeling so into it that you're like, you know what? I would love to start a life with you. I'd love to start a family tonight. I will pull off that first one. There's a second one there still for your comfort and safety, but there's a hole cut out. And is that now? Look, that metaphor sounded better in my head, and this is probably something we can edit out. But I think if you're gonna wear 2, you can't just pull. You can't just pull them both off and then go back to normal. By the way, wearing 2 is already saying that you, I guess, care more than most people. So then that means you need to, I don't know, double mask it. That means either keep it on the whole time or you just have, maybe that says you're better at eating around the mask. Like you pull down just a little sliver and you're good at just shoving, or maybe you take turns talking and eating. I feel like there should be more of a game plan if you're coming with 2 masks. But if you're just going to act like a 1 mask person, hey, man.
I mean, I understand at a bar, you could keep the mask on and just use a crazy straw and get it around that. Yeah. But food, you got to puree it or we can't help you.
The other one I was laughing about, which was I see people oftentimes driving alone with the mask on, right? And I don't know. I've
not recommended.
Said it before. Driving alone with the mask on or walking alone on the beach with the mask on. I don't know who the bigger douche or piece of fucking bigger pussy is, but okay. They're both fucking dudes I could never hang with. But you know what the answer is? The number one answer of why would you ever wear your mask in your car alone? I'm not saying if you're an Uber driver. I'm just saying wearing the mask alone in a car. Why would you do that? And the number one answer is it's just habit. Like, so I don't forget. Like, so I don't forget when I get out of the car. And I was like, okay, so before you leave the house, do you shove a bunch of toilet paper down the back of your pants so you remember to wipe your ass if you have to take a shit?
Don't answer that.
How does it work with your sunglasses? Like, do you keep those on at night because at some point the sun will rise and I don't want to forget to put them on? Like, I feel like you could remember the mask. I don't know that it needs to be built into your muscle memory that way.
Yeah.
Well, and I do a lot of walking around your old neighborhood. And Adam, by the way, I forgot to tell you, the John's got a total facelift. It looks like a Whole Foods now.
The supermarket.
On the outside. Yeah. The John's looks fancy all of a sudden. So I forgot to take a picture for you, but I will.
Wait, the John's? Is this in competition with Vons?
No, not by a damn sight. I feel like John's bought Vons and then cheaped out and just changed one letter on the sign. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
So
it's
always,
like
a low end Vons.
There's nothing better than when you see the sign and the ONS is sunblasted and faded from the 70s and the J is brand new and glistening.
Right, fire engine red.
That. Yes.
I love also when businesses just can't afford all the consonants in the marquee. Like there was a strip club I once went to for my buddy's 21st in Vegas, an hour and a half away from the strip called the Pussycat, but the P and the C were burnt out. So we went to the Ussiat that night. And you're probably wondering, hey, what sort of performers are at the Ussiat? Oh, I don't know. Just go to Walmart at midnight in Kansas City and just take a gander. That's who's there.
That sends a shiver down my spine.
But what's going on with John's?
So I walking past the John's, got a great facelift, take pictures. But the new waving to your neighbors, the new like, hi, how are you? Where you just kind of do it and you don't realize it, is you wear your mask around your chin. And then as you pass someone, you kind of pull it up, give them a nod, and then you pull it back down. That's what we, the people in the neighborhood, do while they're out walking their dogs or strolling around. You just kind of you let your mask dangle, or you wear it like the chin diaper, and then you see someone, hi, how are you? Put it up. Okay, hi, how are you? And put it back down. That's the new courtesy thing to do.
I had some thought. You awoken thoughts, Gina, in my head, which is anyone who's enjoyed the movie Cruising with Al Pacino knows that, the brown bandana in the left pocket means one thing and the blue bandana in the front pocket means another thing. I wonder how long before the gay population is going to co-opt this mask thing. Around the chin means you're a blowjob guy. Double masker means, you like a rusty trombone. There's got to be some moves as they pass each other.
Yeah.
Face shield sends a mixed message. Like, I feel like on one hand it sends, I do like blowing dudes. On the other hand, I want protection, when the end is near.
Yeah, this is I'm prepared for bukkake.
Yes.
Don't get that drop.
I'm prepared for bukkake. Yeah.
Did somebody say bukkake?
Oh, is it wait a minute, Al Pacino?
Is it Al Pacino?
Hoo-ha.
Out in the Serengeti?
I don't know what's behind it.
All right. I had an early checkout at the Holiday Inn Express. Hoo-ha.
Do you remember that movie?
I'd go out to Africa. Hoo-ha.
You remember making that movie Cruising, where you played a cop who had to infiltrate the gay community in New York and become part of the scene? So that, Gina, you don't look like you remember this one either.
I don't, but I'm intrigued. It sounds like something I would love.
There was like a weird, hardcore, gay cop movie starring Al Pacino from
finally
1981, 1980.
Hoo-ha.
He's like wearing leather and he's coming and he's like, he's an undercover cop and there's somebody killing gay men, some gay serial killer.
Right.
And, he's having to pretend he's gay and make out with dudes and talk about hips or lips, buddy. When he's
hips or lips. Put your hands behind your back and your other hand on my lower back. Hoo-ah.
Looks like it's on Amazon Prime for $3.99.
All right.
That's
affordable.
Yeah, Pacino, they were targeting the leather scene. There was the leather scene. The gay
like the rough trade stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me tell you why I wouldn't be into the leather scene if I was gay.
Go ahead.
You put on some leather underwear, then you put on some leather chaps, then you put on a suede vest, and you get a leather dicky turtleneck. Mm-hmm. Then you go out on the dance floor and you fucking dance the night away, and then I got to take you back next to the dumpster and blow you after that? No.
Not interested.
You know what a man's sack smells like after a long night of dancing in leather?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No. Al, it's not. It's not good.
Hoo-ah.
Yeah. It's not good. You want something that breathes. You know what I mean? You want to air it out down there.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, you're bad. So,
a nice organic Pima cotton, maybe.
Yeah, or maybe some dolphin shorts with no underwear.
Right.
This goes perfectly with my new pandemic business model. I'm launching today at Rite Aid, $5.99. Al Pacino ball wipes. All right.
Gary, read the byline for Cruising as it is on, IMDb or something, or maybe Gene will find it. But
I'll give you the synopsis.
This is 1980, by the way. This movie is 40 years old.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Wait. Al, you want to give us a synopsis? I mean,
sure. I've made a lot of movies, so I don't remember all the plots of all of them. Mm-hmm. But this one was a young psychopath becomes a cop in Brooklyn, New York City. Hoo-ha. Finds a gay guy at an IHOP. Sucks him off and joins the force. The end. Hoo-ha.
Oh.
No.
So there's a twist.
That's not what I have here.
Well, what do you
have, Gary?
A psychopath is scouring New York City gay clubs and viciously slaying homosexuals. Detective Steve Burns, played by Al Pacino, is ordered to don leather attire, hang at the city's S&M joints, and keep an eye out for the killer. But as Steve becomes immersed in club hopping, he begins to identify with the subculture more than he expected. Meanwhile, Steve behaves distantly around his girlfriend Nancy. The police force's homophobia becomes apparent, and the killer remains at large.
That's what I said. Hoo-ha.
And Karen Allen is the girlfriend.
Yeah, that's Nancy.
Al?
And Paul Sorvino's in this. William Friedkin directed it from The Exorcist.
It's a great cast.
Al,
it sounds like it.
So, Al, you're at this stage, you're 40 years old and you start becoming gay because you go undercover?
Everyone's a little gay at 40.
I didn't know that.
That's my new coffee table book you can buy also at Rite Aid with Al Pacino's ball wipes. Hoo-ha.
Al was exactly 40 years old when he did the movie. Well, look at me.
I've done a lot before then.
No, I get it. No.
Time to make a career change. Hoo-ha.
Yeah, you got Dog Day Afternoon where you play a bank robber, I guess. And then there's Serpico where you play another cop who has to go undercover. Right.
I played a blind guy. Hoo-ha.
Oh, yeah. That was after this.
Scent of a Woman.
But this is kind of interesting because it's kind of a weird pitch for a movie. It's like you got this middle-aged cop with his hot girlfriend, and he has to go undercover and go into the leather scene, the gay leather scene, and it's like, and he starts to become kind of gay.
It sounds like, if you were just giving me the premise, it sounds like a bad screwball comedy from the late 90s.
And true, we think all these movements, all the gay lesbian stuff and all this progressive whatever, we think this stuff's all 10 minutes old. This is from 1980. This is 41 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been around for a while.
It was ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got the Rotten Tomatoes Valentine's Day edition coming up, so that ought to be fun. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, let's see. I got one more thing I want to get into.
It shouldn't be funny when Adam transitions back to Adam, but it is.
Let's see. We got. We'll talk about. You got some people getting canceled in the news, Gina. We can get into. I got a lot of thoughts on that.
Possibly the most meta way so far.
I was watching CNN over the weekend, and I saw the White House reporter like standing in front of the lawn, and I saw all of these candy hearts behind him. And it's love, strength, family, unity, kindness, healing. I think there's probably got to be some hope and stuff in there, too. Dignity.
More compassion.
Compassion.
You see what it says under the healing in little tiny letters? Love, Jill.
Oh, okay. So this is a Jill Biden thing. I try not to be angry about everything all the time, and, family, love, whatever. But we have spoken more about compassion and unity and kindness and healing. And the other one we talk about all the time, dignity. Everyone needs to be treated. We have treated less people with dignity since we started talking about dignity in this country. When I was growing up, you'd talk about dignity in terms of like, well, your friend's grandma, it was an elderly thing. Like it needs to be treated with some dignity or whatever. We didn't really
with dignity.
It's like the more we speak the word treat and dignity, the more we say dignity, the shittier we are with every human being. It's a direct correlation. It's like you didn't need to say dignity back in the day. It was like, that's your neighbor, or that's someone's parent, or that's someone's grandparent. No one had to coach anyone up. We do more fucking talk about healing and dignity and respect, and I need to be treated. Fuck you and your dignity, and fuck you and your respect. Get on with your fucking life. It's like, I've always said that since we've started the sexual harassment symposiums that every fucking company that has more than 3.5 employees has to have now, you have to have someone come in and talk to you about sexual harassment. Sexual harassment lawsuits have gone up 8,000% since they began.
Because they give you amazing ideas.
Right.
I didn't know I could sue for that.
Right.
It's almost like when the Dare officer was like, don't smoke pot, okay? This thing's going to make your cookies taste like, I don't know if you guys have had pussy yet, but it's like that with chocolate chips. And you're like, what? So don't do it? I think that meant do it.
Inappropriate Dare Officer is Adam's new character on this show.
Oh, my God. That's amazing.
I have a question, Inappropriate.
Well, I was a Dare officer. I played a Dare officer. Yeah, well, look, I don't want to say that it was, I know you have Pacino on, and he's been in obviously a lot of great movies, yada, 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 gay cop. We've all been there, done that. But I played a Dare officer in a Disney spin-off movie, okay, called I Dare You to Do That. And it was basically an after-school special, but it was like mockumentary. So like the kids didn't know I wasn't a real Dare officer. They thought I was Officer Hooper. So I'm going in there being like, guys, cocaine is awesome. I have some. If you want it, you can do it. But that being said, if you get fucked up and you steal somebody's car, I'm not going to bail you out of jail. And these kids, the director would go, cut, Tony, that's not the lines. Quit improvising. I go, yeah, fuck you. But this is, what was the question?
Inappropriate Dare Officer. That
sure,
yeah. Statement.
Well, look, I think I base my own life experiences off real people. And my Dare officer at Brooklyn Elementary back in New York would always say, Tony, look, drugs are fun. And I know that you do them, and I know that you love them, and I have them, and we can do them together. But it's really about everything in moderation. And if you drink, you're going to smoke. If you smoke, you're going to choke somebody. If you choke somebody, you're going to probably do an 8-ball off that person's neck. So I guess the point I'm trying to say is, what was the question?
So let me make this observation. You're at a hotel in Seattle, right, Adam?
Yeah.
You're in a sort of conference room. You're not in your hotel room.
I'm in it's actually titled, see, now here's an interesting guy right here. This guy just walked right by me real quick.
I saw him.
With his mask down, picking his nose and coughing. He's by himself outside.
So You're in an environment not in your room in a hotel, but in a common area.
It's called it's actually called, I've never seen this labeled on any hotel, the complimentary breakfast room.
Right.
And and they're not doing that, so the room's closed.
Somewhere within earshot of Al Pacino and Tony Danza and Dr. Phil is a middle-aged Guatemalan woman who's in the back, and she's pushing a mop somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you think she knows you're doing Al Pacino? Which one, if we were to bet, which one she could call? You know, the 53-year-old Guatemalan woman who's pushing the mop, who's 20 feet away, but clearly hears something's going on inside of this breakfast establishment. I got to go with Dr. Phil. I got to go with Phil.
Me too.
You think that's who she recognizes?
Because when her shift moves and she's not working days, you know, he's on the boob tube.
Right. Yeah, she's probably
So you're saying, so the moment that I catch someone trying to break in during this pod is going to be when Phil pops up and she hears that, drops the mop, drops the coffee, comes in here, breaks in, she's probably got a key, and then does what? Now, does she have enough wherewithal to know that it's a filter on my face, or does she just hear the voice and go, wow, he looks different live?
I think she's going to know. She's not going to know the filter, but she'll know the Phil. The Pacino, the only outside chance with the Pacino is she may have cruising on Laserdisc. And in the Guatemalan community, that's a huge movie.
It's a big
right.
Very possible.
So could be it. All right. We got Rotten Tomatoes to play. Also, Gary, look up the movie for the Rotten Tomatoes. I think it was Prisoners. I don't know if you guys saw that movie. I watched it last night with my son. Hugh Jackman stars. Interesting movie. First, I'll tell you about Geico. Do you rent your home? Well, you do one or the other. How about you bundle, man? You take your homeowners or your renter's insurance and you bundle it up with your automotive policy, and you save a bunch of money. Go to geico.com, get a quote, see just how much you could save. Geico makes it so easy to save when you bundle. So go to geico.com today and figure out just how much you could be saving when you bundle at geico.com. All right, we'll take ourselves a break. We'll be back with the Rotten Tomatoes game right after this.
Listen to that noise. It's a high falsetto voice. That can only mean one thing, and you can feel it.
Got some names of flicks, and the gang makes their picks. Guessing if it's rotten or fresh.
If they guess it exactly, we'll get a bonus 5.
It's the Rotten Tomatoes game. You know how we do it. Give me the Rotten Tomatoes game. Now it's time to play it.
Well, we may have a chance because Paul Bryan isn't here, and he's been catching me at the end almost every week. So
the comeback kid, huh?
He has been. Well, he gives you a choice. He'll either dominate out of the gate, or he'll give you a little bit of a lead, and then on the last one, just hit you right in that center lane, man. Just park it right in that center lane, man. Drive.
Well, right onto the median.
Yeah.
Puts it neutral, too. Doesn't even want to come to a full stop.
That's right.
All right.
California
what do we got?
roll.
All right, Valentine's Day is upon us, and love is in the air. Even before the days of Romeo and Juliet, humans have gravitated to stories about forbidden love. But sometimes the most surprising relationships are the ones that last the longest. This week, we're featuring movies with very unlikely couples. And before you ask, unfortunately, Taboo 2 does not have a Rotten Tomatoes score.
Ooh.
Our first film is the ultimate May to December romance about the love that forms between a 20-year-old boy and an 80-year-old woman.
This is one of my favorite movies in the world.
The two meet at a funeral and explore the meaning of life together through their beautiful, but let's face it, kind of cringy relationship. Bud Cort and Ruth Gordon star in 1971's Harold and Maude.
I love this movie. The soundtrack is amazing. It's all Cat Stevens. At the time, Cat Stevens even said, if you want to hear this music, you can't buy it. You have to go see this movie.
Wow.
Now,
it's a power move.
I saw the movie a million years ago. I can't tell if it's weird or good or like holds up. Like at times it's good. My son and I, my son was saying, like, my son's getting into movies and he's getting into directors and he's wanting to watch directors, you know? And so he had like Stanley Kubrick, you know, and he was like, he didn't like The Shining. So I made him sleep outside for like 2 days.
Yeah, that's a good move. People say that's a slow burn movie. It's not.
It is, but it's good. I mean,
it's not boring. I mean, there's even watching the kid on the big wheels is terrifying because of the way it's shot.
It's great. And then he watched 2001 Space Odyssey and he's like, I'm bored. Like, I don't want to see Kubrick.
Man.
And then, so I say to him, why don't we go watch the first hour of Full Metal Jacket? Because that's a Kubrick film. And the great Gunny, R. Lee Ermey.
Yep.
I fucking miss that guy. I don't miss half the people that died in the last 5 years, but I miss R. Lee Ermey. I fucking love that guy. And I was like, you want to watch a performance? Watch this guy. And I said the first hour's, really good, first 45 minutes, and then, it becomes kind of average. He watched the whole thing and announced he loved it. It's always weird when you're sitting there with your son and the part where all the soldiers are sitting out front and the Vietnamese guy comes pulling up with the Vietnamese teenage chick, and he's like, me sucky fucky long time, and there's like $10, buku, and it's like, the black guy pulls up, and she's like, buku, his dick's too big, and I'm just sitting next to my son going, I don't know, do I explain how the world really works? Or look, I
think you just did.
First off, first things first, son. As far as the blowjobs go, $10. This is 1969 Da Nang.
Yeah.
You understand?
This is back in the day.
Right. So understand when blowjobs were going for $10 in Hanoi, understand that gas was 41 cents a gallon. You understand?
Right. Don't look for that kind of bargain today.
Yeah. So just do the same basic math.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Smart.
This is when Vivian Pickles was co-starring in films. Times have changed.
Right. So now there's this movie and Harold and Kumar. So
Harold and Maude.
Sorry, Harold and Maude. Sorry.
Harold and Maude go to White Castle.
Yes. It's not that. It's not that. It's only half a faux pas. It's just a faux. Yeah. It's not really the pas.
You're right.
Actually, it was just the pas part because it was the Harold and Maude. Mm-hmm. So. Yep. Now, we go back to, he's talking about Stanley Kubrick, and he says, what about Clockwork Orange? And I go, I said, I can't remember if that movie's great or just weird. There's a lot of iconic movies where you go, oh, that's an iconic movie. And I go, yeah, but maybe it's just weird. I don't know that it's actually good. And I'm going to say Harold and Maude could be weird. I watched it. I remember kind of liking it, but there were two things that were going on with this movie. You have the Cat Stevens soundtrack, which is always going to be good.
Great.
And they had a Jaguar XJ or XKE, which was done up to look like a funeral home hearse. So it had a novelty car and a great soundtrack. And back in the 70s, that was about enough to be a good movie.
Right.
Adam,
how old was the kid again?
You've never seen it, right?
No. I just realized that this wasn't pure luck with Martin Short. So I'm still a couple beats behind. No, how old was the kid and how old was Maude?
20, and she's about to turn 80. And it's the juxtaposition is he's kind of obsessed with death and he's morbid and, but he's young and she's full of life and, rebellious and loves living until she doesn't. And I don't know, maybe because I saw it in college and so I was kind of swept away in it. So maybe it sucks, but I have fond memories of watching it many times.
Now, do you think the movie could have been served better if the kid was younger? Like if he was like, I don't know, 10, 11? Because you see a lot of those now. Yeah. Like there's that movie, I don't know what it's called, Arnold Timberlake and some young kid. And
Palmer.
We've now seen a ton of the, About a Boy, Bill Murray and St. Vincent, of the old man, old gal with a kid and they teach each other lessons. Did this have a little bit of that or not? Because he was 20 and he's like, look, Maude, I've already fingered 6 chicks, so there's not too much more you're going to teach me. Or was he like an inexperienced 20-year-old recluse that was kind of like, look, I think we can both get something out of this. Let's not kill each other. Make me a saint.
I don't know if this makes you want to watch it more or less, but I think one of the plot points is she is his first.
Oh, yeah. Kind of. They had a few of these. They had this Summer 52, which was another movie about this kind of relationship, except for the woman was like 30. All right, let's
wait real quick. At what point of the movie do they get it on?
Midway.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you get the rest of the flick to kind of watch the
refractory
watch him
period.
deal with the aftermath.
That's right.
She's probably like, don't be so weird about it, huh? What, you never seen a center lane before? And he's like, well, not in the dark.
Yeah.
Bullshit, you haven't seen this, Adam.
There wasn't.
I haven't.
Back in the day.
Shanghai Nights 6 times, though, in the theater.
Back in the day, there wasn't a lot that didn't make the cut for my Spank Bank. You know, it was a really low bar.
What about Ruth Gordon?
I've now, since I have a more discerning palate in terms of what makes it into the Spank Bank. But back then, it would be like, you look at a young Adam's Spank Bank and what can gain entry into that facility. Yeah. I mean, I'd go to Big Five and look at the fucking box that a raft came in and go, who's that hottie? She's floating on that raft. All right, she's in. She's in the Spank Bank. Oh. I fell in love with a chick on a raft box when I was 14. Yeah, but this did not make it into the Spank Bank. So I don't know if that's going to hurt. I say this is an iconic film. Critics love the theme of this. And I say 81%.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I feel strongly about this. I hope I'm right. 83.
I'm going to $1 both you guys. I feel like this was a fan favorite. I feel like it's become a cult classic. And just the way that you guys speak about it makes me feel like that it's closer to 85%.
Adam Ray's got to start going first.
Yeah. Get a cocktail napkin and see if you can get a ballpoint from that Guatemalan chick. And she'll be like, yes, Mr. Pacino, right away.
Hoo-ha! Give me a ballpoint pen and a box of wheat thins. Hoo-ha!
All right, so just a reminder of the rules to Adam Ray. You must come up with your score before everyone announces their scores. Someone hit a bullseye.
Oh, no.
Better not be Adam Ray.
And that someone is Adam Ray.
Oh!
Come on!
Harold and Maude is certified fresh at 85%.
5-point deduction.
Okay. No. I don't think he gets a deduction for this. I think we all learned something about writing our scores down.
He's in a facility that does not have pads.
I can do it. I can do it on a little electronic keypad.
You just go first.
I'll just go first every time. How about that?
Now I'm angry.
What's Bud Cort? Why do I feel like Bud Cort's a producer or something? Or like,
do you remember the movie But I'm a Cheerleader with Natasha Lyonne? Okay, he was in that. That's the last thing I've seen. Kind of an offbeat movie about her going to like one of those camps where it makes you ungay.
Oh, okay. So we're all versus starring in the movie Cruising, which makes you gay.
Right. Yes.
I wonder if Pacino had to go to an ungay camp after rapping Cruising to, wash it out of his hair.
He's method.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, this isn't just about whatever happens on set. By the way, if your little one is doing by director, Andy and I just finished all of Christopher Nolan's movies. Inception, Memento, Dark Knight. That he would never leave the movie theater if he went to Christopher Nolan next.
What about Cocoon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's a great movie. Wilford Brimley was 49, I think.
Or whatever that story is.
89.
9 years too late to be gay in a movie.
All right, what's our next one, Dawson?
Next up, one of the sexiest actors alive plays a socially awkward loner who finds it impossible to make friends or find love. But thanks to the internet, Ryan Gosling finally has a new girlfriend to show off, only she's not exactly a mail-order bride. When Lars begins parading around his newly purchased sex doll, the whole family plays along with his very strange delusions. From 2007, Lars and the Real Girl.
Anybody see this?
Yeah,
No,
love it. One of my faves.
I heard
I
it.
saw it.
I heard it was great. And
Yeah.
so in this particular case, see, I think you take the movie and you take the execution and the acting and the writing and everything that is the movie and you come up with a score. Then there is a societal score, which is the wokest people in the world review movies. So are we going to deduct a few points because of the theme, or are we going to add a few points because of the theme? This particular film, I heard, was a great film, so you're going to get a good score. And then I think we're going to bump it up a little bit because of its kind of wokeness, coolness, kind of openness, or whatever. I feel like critically, the critics would like the theme of it. So, Adam Ray's going to go first after Gina and I lock it in.
He center laned us.
Go ahead, Adam Ray.
Well, I agree with you. I've seen the movie. I know the fans enjoyed it. I know you got Gosling doing something where he wasn't just plowing away on someone, and he got to do a little, flex the acting muscle a little bit more, being in love with the doll. And spoiler alert. And I'm going to go 78%.
I gave it a good movie, and I gave it a little bump for the theme. I gave it 88%.
Interesting. I'm right there with Adam Ray. I said 79%.
Damn you.
Well, Lars and the Real Girl is certified fresh at 81%.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
I'll take that.
Yeah, this is a close game.
Next film is about an awkward loner who's unable to connect with people in the traditional way. But in the very near future, a new operating system is able to develop its own intuitive and unique personality. And so what begins as a basic iPhone Siri relationship soon blossoms into a full-fledged romance. Joaquin Phoenix stars alongside the voice of Scarlett Johansson in 2013's Her.
Dr. Phil?
Go ahead.
Well, I have a very close relationship with my phone. It's where I get most of my information. It's where most of my contacts are. I'll FaceTime with Robin every now and then. I'll send her recipe ideas or dick pics, but I don't use Siri as much as I want to. I've used it twice. Siri, who wrote Caribbean Queen? And the other one was Siri.
Billy Ocean.
Okay, well, see, and there you go. See, Siri didn't even know that. So that makes me question the phone and its intelligence. But Joaquin Phoenix, I trust anything he does, okay? If I saw him walk right into a gangbang with 2 condoms on, 1 pre-cut, I'd follow him right in there. But I digress. I think this movie, it was ahead of its time. I think the phone had Yacht Rock had not yet got... I'm going to give this movie a certified giant filler up, as I like to say, in my new coffee table book, where I explore the ins and outs of young animated genital wart named Toby, and his experience through the labor. I'm going to give this movie a hard 87%.
Oh wow.
People love Phoenix.
I heard the movie was good, but I didn't hear a lot about it. And
it snuck up on you.
It's also kind of the ones that I think critics would like because it's kind of weird and it's got those things in place. But I didn't hear a ton about it other than it seemed good. I'm going to go back to your guys' 79.
Yeah, I think there was some critical acclaim around this, but I watched the first, 20, 30 minutes at one point. I got bored, turned it off. And as Brian would say, nobody has said, oh, you have to see Her, which I think is an indication. So, but I know people liked it. I'll say 75.
Her is certified fresh at 94%.
No way.
Come on, that's what I'm talking about.
And the audience has it at 82. So this must have had there must be some extra woke points going on in this film.
And wasn't the voice Scarlett Johansson?
Yes.
Yes, dude, that right there is enough to get that tomato meter up to close to 100 because Scarlett Johansson could tell me I have leukemia and I'd still come.
Good to know, Doc.
All right. Next.
All right, don't act like you all haven't thought that, okay? That awkward silence let me know that we might be taking a commercial break, but since we're keeping it here, let's go to our next movie, Doss.
Next, we feature a story of two step-siblings who get off on making other people miserable, but clearly just want to bang each other. Things get even more uncomfortable when both parties attempt to seduce a virgin, but end up catching real feelings instead. Adapted from the classic French novel Les Liaisons de Drossaut. Ryan Philippe, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Reese Witherspoon star in 1999's Cruel Intentions.
Saw it in the theater.
Whoa!
Yeah, this movie was fucking hot. I'll say that. I'll say that 10 times over. Now, real quick, is it Philippe? Dawson just said something real Philippi or Philippi?
Gary told me I said it wrong. I don't remember how I said it, but Filipino.
No.
There it is.
Ryan Philippi.
Philippi.
I don't know.
Philippines.
Either way, that is a face on a poster. Like, whoever directed this movie poster goes, all right, now, Ryan, I'm not gay, but if I was, how would you try to pick me up at the Cheesecake Factory? And action.
All right. Now, this is going to be tough because this ain't the last few films we were talking about are going to be somewhere between, all the films we talk about, somewhere between like 80 and 90 or somewhere in that neighborhood. This thing could be, decent at 58, 60, 62, somewhere in there, but it could also be a 26er. So there's some room here.
Big swing.
There's some gappage here. All right. I'm in.
Yep.
Adam Ray.
Well, I know my kids, they were at the ripe age to see this film when it came out. I believe I'm going to say 95, 96, 97. Doss, is that right?
99.
Okay, close enough, you dick. But it was, it had that movie vibe of, I'm going to see this again at home by myself. Because if you remember, Gina, there was a makeout scene.
I haven't seen it.
Spoiler alert, there's some hardcore lesbo action, okay?
Really? Between
Sarah
Michelle Gellar and Reese?
And no, not Reese. Selma Blair is also in this picture.
Oh, damn.
Wait, I think you may have. She's in it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, and they kiss. And yeah, you think I'm going to forget a Selma Blair kiss?
No.
But they get into it, and it's real exciting. But I think you're right, Adam. This movie could have a low score based on its not national appeal. But I think because of the lesbo stuff and Philip and Ryan, it's I'm going to go just above my favorite position, and we're going to go 70%.
Oh, okay. I went low. I went 39.
I went with your top score when you were theorizing. I said it's barely rotten, 58.
Cruel Intentions is rotten, but barely at 55.
Oh,
you
damn.
did that.
Fucking shitballs.
I can listen to myself.
I listen to yourself.
Oh, boy. Maybe
I listened to you. It helped.
close game. I think Gina's in the. Well, this is close.
Finally.
Her was pretty bad.
Of all the unlikely relationships that have been featured over the years, only one love story has truly stood the test of time. It was love at first sight, and their loyalty toward one another is seen and never questioned across more than 10 films. But let's go back to the very beginning, when a banjo-playing frog first makes eyes with a hammy wannabe actress with Hollywood dreams. Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy share an unexpected rainbow connection in 1979's The Muppet Movie.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, one of the best of all time.
I mean, it's
arguably the best Muppet movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Did not see it.
Come on.
But
It's a classic ad.
They love these. They love these movies.
Yeah.
A lot of good puns.
Jim Henson was a goddamn genius, and he got Kermit to ride a bike.
That's
This is the first time we saw Muppets do people things, really.
I went down to Henson's studio many years ago.
Cool.
It was in, what was his, was it Imagine Something? No, that was, I'm trying to think of what, Imagine Something, or he had, his studios were called something.
I think just Jim Henson Studios over on La Brea, yeah?
Yeah.
No.
You know, with like Kermie on the statue up front?
Yeah.
I went to Northern California. I don't know, Gary, you might be able to figure it out. I don't know if
They might have had a creature shop up there. Is that where you went?
If it was in like Seattle or someplace like that. They did. All right. So, Gary, here's some homework for at some point today. There was a commercial where it was, and I don't remember the product it was for, but it was like Barbie driving in her Corvette, and then at some point Ken like jumped in and Barbie got rid of Ken or something. It was like a funny commercial that was probably from like 1997 or 1998, and they made it down at that studio. And I was doing some pilot for some ordinary, extraordinary, stupid sitcom thing, you know, variety show thing, pilot. And I went down there and like interviewed the guys who did it and stuff like that. I just have these vague memories of this kind of funny Henson Barbie live action. I mean, not live action, but Barbie doll in the Corvette commercial, probably from the, again, like 97, 98. Anyway. All right. The critics love it. Was it 82 or are we talking about 97 here? Now, Adam got out with his 5-point deduction and a big lead. Gina has been she's been chipping away at it. I'm in the mix. I don't feel like I'm in the lead. I'm just in the mix. So I'm going to go. I'm not going to say it yet, but
Adam Ray.
Go first, Adam Ray.
Okay. I love this movie. It's one of my faves. I think even at the time, I know that there's some Jim Henson films like Labyrinth and The Dark Crystal that did not weren't really received well by the critics, but became cult classics. I know most of the Muppet movies are, you know, the ones done by Jim Henson. This one, Muppets Take Manhattan, Great Muppet Caper, are highly regarded. This was the first of the three, and again, pushed the envelope, did some big things, had a lot of great guest stars. Fucking Steve Martin is in it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go, and because I think the Muppets are not respected like they used to be, with good reason, because you don't have Jim at the helm, but I think this one is going to get its due cred, and I'm going to go 91%.
Well, I went 93. Gina?
Interesting. As Adam Ray was talking, I'm just going to say yes for all of the reasons Adam Ray said. And if you don't think we're Saponico, 91.
Wow.
Well, the Muppet Movie is certified fresh at 88%.
Oh, okay.
Wow. And the people
solid across the board. Yeah.
The people have it at 88. All right. Well, I'm out. Now what?
Well, we all love consistency. Gina Grad, you are consistently on the podium every single time. Adam Carolla with a score of 47.
Ooh, respectable.
Adam Ray coming in. 5-point deduction helped, but did it help enough? Adam Ray, your score is 23, leaving us with Gina Grad. Where on the podium will she fall? Gina Grad. In Bald Brian's absence, you still cannot win. 29.
Oh,
Adam Ray takes it away.
No. Asterisk.
You know how we do it.
Adam Ray won by 6 points, by the way. So if we took away that 5-point deduction, he'd still win by uno.
Well, look, and there's a valuable lesson to be learned here, which is don't ever count yourself out, okay? Even when you get kicked out of the brothel for the third time in a row, go back in, tell them you left your ID in the urinal, okay? And that's when you get to pick up where you left things off with that girl, in quotes, who told you she wanted to be a rabbi. We'll be right back.
You think you found that Barbie commercial? What was it for?
Maybe. Let's see here.
By the way, that was a very extensive Barbie commercial, like that you were describing. Like you said, like Ken left Barbie at the altar. Or what was happening?
It was like Barbie kind of driving along, and it was for Nissan.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's see this.
It's a kid's room with dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, this is great.
Got some pretty amazing
Yeah,
stuff
so it shows like the G.I. Joe. Oh, it's the Nissan, right? It's got the Nissan Z car. Pops into
Is that
it.
Harrison Ford? Young Harrison Ford?
Gets his. Probably couldn't make this commercial today because he gets in a sports car, white guy, cisgender, and he's picking up a hot chick, and he's driving this car all the way through the house.
Right.
And now he steps out of the car. He's hitting up Barbie, who's in the
Doesn't
Barbie
even say
house.
anything. I mean, you can't, but... Is that the sister, or is that her? She just got ready real quick.
She got ready real quick. Oh, that's
He just cuckolded Ken.
Wait a second. Who was the guy at the end?
That was the guy who came up with the Z car is named like Mr. P or something like that. He's got a long, crazy last name, Japanese, and probably not crazy if you live in Japan, but if you're from North Hollywood, all names are crazy. And
He definitely laughed.
spectrum.
He definitely laughed and had a look on his face like he took all the ecstasy and he just saw that whole thing play out and saw the car drive away and was like laughing to himself because he's like, man, no one's going to believe what I just saw.
Yoshiko Matsuo, or something. He was Mr. M or whatever he's called. He was the grandfather of the Datsun or Nissan Z car, and made it to like 100 years old or something. I died super recently, or is he still alive? Gary's gonna. Oh, he died at 86 and semi recently. So the grandfather of the Datsun Z was that guy.
But between Barbie's face and this guy's face, that's the whole spectrum of recognizable. I was, Barbie, who is that guy? Why would they put him in without explaining who it is? Or is it just for people in the know, in the Nissan know?
It's I don't know what I think they call those Easter eggs. You know what I mean? It's just like it. I don't know. It's just it's cool. You're supposed to go look it up or something. I don't know. He was around. I mean, he died in July 2020. Just died then. Oh. Did not see that on Entertainment Tonight, so I'm going to write a very stern letter to those people. Yeah. But in my world, that guy, because I have all the Datsun race cars, that guy was a big guy. And it was a cool commercial, but I don't know if can you make that commercial anymore where the good-looking white dude is like picking up the chick and I don't know.
And he pulls up and just gets her to leave her guy.
Someone would call it problematic.
Yeah, they would have to put closed course, do not attempt at home.
That's true. All right.
What do you think the conversation was like 20 minutes down the freeway right after? I would have loved to have seen that, like.
With Indiana Jones and Barbie?
Yeah, like, is she like, so just so you know, I do have to be back by like 10:30. I have to take my kids to school in the morning. And he's like, you just left your husband for me. We're not going back. And she's like, what? Mattel or whatever the Nissan. Yeah. Then you cut to.
Well,
they're already in the living room. There's no way home.
Where was that studio, Gary? It was up north, and I can't remember. I remember it was like got on an airplane, went down there, was going to like interview the guys who made the commercial and whatever. It was a Jim Henson thing, but. All right, let me hit Mercari, and then we'll do some news. At the start of the new year, the amount of stuff in our homes hits its peak. Mercari, the marketplace app, makes it easy to say goodbye to unused stuff and make money from home. Simply download Mercari, take a few pics of your stuff, add a description, and your item is on the way to being sold. No meetups, just box it up, and Mercari emails a shipping label. So you got a lot of extra stuff around the house. You don't want to throw it away. You may want to make a little extra money. So you go with Mercari. Over 50 million downloads. You can start buying and selling when you download today. Use the app. You can get the app at the App Store or at Mercari.com. That is Mercari, Mercari, your marketplace. Where was that place? Do we know?
I'm still looking. Everything that comes up for the Jim Henson Studios says it's at Sunset and La Brea, but I'm still looking for the NorCal location.
All right. And by the way,
unofficial.
A recommendation. I saw Prisoners last night with my son. And 2013, Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Paul Dano. It's a good movie. If you guys like the suspense kinds of thrillers and dramas and all that kind of stuff, then by all means.
You know who's really good at those? Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
That guy has been in, like, did he win for Brokeback Mountain? I don't know. I feel
we
like
all won for Brokeback Mountain.
I love that. We did. But he's always so solid. And there's a movie about LA cops that was almost like an indie film he did.
We talked about it. I saw it recently.
Oh, man. Yeah. He's just quietly amazing all the time.
He's great, but my son fucked up the entire movie for me because I built this movie theater at my house. It has like a 12-foot screen.
It's unbelievable.
We're sitting right up front. And right at the top, my son goes, yeah, Gyllenhaal's great, but he's a long blinker. He does the blink, hold, and then up. And he holds it down. It's up. He's a long blinker. And I
That's
go,
a great
he is?
observation.
He's like, yeah, he does the blink. Watch him blink. The whole fucking film. I was just staring at Gyllenhaal. Oh, there he did it again. He did it again. Like,
By the way,
to torture you.
Completely ruined the movie for me because I kept just staring at him like it was a code or something to me. He does the long blink. I don't know what that is. It's if everyone else's blink is, 1/10 of a second, his is 6/10 of a second. That's how the man blinks. And then
maybe it's an acting choice.
At some point, I started wrestling with it. I was like, well, maybe that detective blinks that way. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not Jake Gyllenhaal blinking. Oh, he did it again. He did it again.
Maybe it was maybe Donnie Darko blinks that way. Maybe the end of Watch blinks that way.
You stay up all night watching every Gyllenhaal flick just to make a catalog of all the times he extra blinks.
Now,
every actor's got a tick like that. Maybe that's his.
Oh, he's the long. He holds it for a second and then pops it back up again. Yeah.
It does sound like a Seinfeld episode where like George can't go out with a girl because she's a long blinker.
It'll ruin every Jake Gyllenhaal film for you. All right. We'll take ourselves a break. We'll come back. We'll do the news right after this.
Give me the news with Grad. News with Gina Grad. Breaking viral. Weird crime, protest, politics. Give me news with Gina Grad. Stuff they saw on TMZ. Joe Biden. Kamala. Meet news with Gina Grad.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, as Adam teased earlier, we have a new celebrity, let's say, on the chopping block for a new reason. Bachelor host Chris Harrison has announced he'll be stepping back from his duties on the ABC show due to what's being called an ongoing racism controversy that saw him on the receiving end of intense backlash this week. This is according to Fox. Harrison took to Instagram with a lengthy statement on Saturday, and I'll just give you a couple highlights in a second, to take accountability for his actions. Here's part of it. He says, well, this is the beginning. I've spent the last few days listening to the pain my words have caused, and I'm deeply remorseful.
The pain.
Oh, wait till hold on. My ignorance did damage to my friends, colleagues, and strangers alike. I have no one to blame but myself for what I said and the way I spoke. So what he's referring to is an appearance on Extra in an interview with Bachelorette alum Rachel Lindsay, who was the show's first Black female lead. In the interview, he defended current contestant Rachel Kirkconnell after photos resurfaced of her attending an Old South themed party at a plantation in 2018. So he kind of tried to cut her some slack there. It didn't work. Harrison confirmed he will be stepping aside for a period of time and will not join the After the Final Rose special. He said he reached his decision by consulting with Warner Brothers and ABC. So he reached it.
He's now... It's kind of interesting because I was talking with August about this. Now we're at the point with the cancel culture, which is you cancel the person that did whatever the act was, like dressing up like Scarlett O'Hara.
Right.
But now we're at the point where if you go, oh, don't cancel her. We need to have more forgiveness. We need to be like, we don't need to. So if you're the person that says we don't need to cancel everyone, we need more grace, then your ass gets canceled too. So you're actually canceling the person and then the other person that says not to cancel them, which is basically what happened to Chris. I was kicking around this theory with August as we were screaming, as old white guys like to do on the weekend, about how fucking insane everyone has gone, and how it's not the lunatics have taken over the asylum. The kids have taken over the asylum, because what's going on now, like at the New York Times and all these places, all these kids that learned all this shit on college campuses, they're now entering the workforce, and they are setting protocol for everyone who's been there for 40 years. So it's a whole group of snot-nosed piece of shit 26-year-olds who got fucking poisoned on college campuses. Now they're in the workforce, and they're deciding what books can be published and what books can't be published and what op-eds can be run and what can't be run, and what reporters with 45 years experience need to be shit canned because they're telling some story on vacation with some kids and he brought up the N-word because some kid brought it up to him and he's trying to put it in context. They're fucking in charge. I told you the children are our future. That is going to fuck everyone over 40. So when I was growing up, it was like, don't trust anyone over 30. That was the rallying cry. My new thing is fuck everyone under 40. Fuck you guys. You need to be told to shut the fuck up. They control social media. They're fucking taking everyone who's over 40 and just take them out to the fucking woodshed. But here's the thing. There's a new world order, which is we are approaching this. There used to be a convention to this stuff, like publicists would tell you and damage control people would say, they go, look, just write a statement, apologize, get out in front. You know, it was like, get out in front. They cancel your ass apology or not anymore. It's like the New York Times guy wrote I'm so sorry, I should have never. Fine, we accept your apology. Now you're shit canned. See, it used to be apologize, get out in front, do the press conference, and then you get to go back to work. You just have to. All they want is your apology.
Yeah.
They don't want your apology. They want your fucking job now. They want your soul. So you can't take the convention that the publicist, because that's 2000. That's 1999. Right? Just write a written apology and then offer an apology and then appease these people. But you can't fucking appease them because they don't want to be appeased. They don't want they don't want your apology. They want you removed from your livelihood. And there needs to be a new convention or a new approach to this when it comes to publicists. The only people that survive now are the ones that go, fuck you, I'm not apologizing. Like Charles Barkley is fine. Trader Joe's had some snot-nosed 17-year-old fuckstick from the San Francisco area go, hey, you need to get rid of all these taco shells and the pizza sauce and the Mamma Mia pizza sauce and the Thai food, whatever. And you know what Trader Joe's said? Fuck you, 17-year-old. We're not going to do shit. And guess what? Did anyone give a fuck?
No.
Are they going to go back to Trader Joe's? Because these guys work like fucking terrorists. Once they abduct the camera crew from CNN and you pay the ransom, guess what? More abductions. Don't pay the ransom. Don't fucking pay the ransom. Everyone do what Trader Joe's does and what Charles Barkley does. And they'll leave you alone because they're fucking feckless cowards who just want a fucking ounce of flesh. Don't give it to them. There should be no more apologizing. There really shouldn't. It doesn't work anymore.
When did it start? Because even when you look at like things with the guys in baseball with steroids, like they came out and kind of did a little thing, and then a lot of them got to go back in and play, right? Like A-Rod didn't really. He had to sit out a little bit, and then he was allowed to go back. But is it different for sports? We like more of the comeback story, I guess, with athletes. Yeah,
we used to want an apology. What I'm saying is They don't want your apology. They want your job.
Yeah.
They want
when
you
did that
canceled.
When did that happen? When did the mob mentality of the people be like, we just want to take you down and that'll fill our void?
When the self-esteem movement kicked into high gear and all the fucking precious snowflakes made their way to college who now then spread out into corporate America.
Right.
These are the groups. So when somebody runs an op-ed in the New York Times, the editor's fine and everyone over 40 is fine. It's all the 26-year-olds that get pissed off and say they're going to storm out. The New World Order has to be, hey, storm the fuck out, pussies. Good luck. Go up the fucking street and get a job at the Inquirer. Don't let the fucking door hit you on the way out. It's a whole bunch of fucking young, fucking poison little kids with their super high self-esteem. How high does your self-esteem have to be for you to cancel somebody? This should be through the fucking roof. We decided that self-esteem was awesome. It is not. This is high self-esteem. This is all these fucking 24-year-old junior cub reporters going, not at the New York Times. It's been around for 170 years, but I'm 24. Not now. I say no. And then we listen to them.
Yeah.
No one should fucking listen. You know what the word should be? Hey, kids, zip it. Go back to your shitty cubicle. We'll do the thinking around here because we're senior and we've been here.
It doesn't matter. There is a lot to be said about just being on Earth longer and being able to like call the shots about, I don't know, worldly things, right?
It's all that demographic shit. Remember, it's like the number one demographic is 18 to 24. The number one you want to be, it doesn't, who cares about cum or numbers or whatever. You want to win that demographic. That demographic is 18 to 24. That young demographic. As soon as we started pitching all that, that's when the fucking kids got all. They're fucking horrible and they're drunk with power and there is no negotiating with them. They need to be fucking slapped. And I don't know why the adults don't want to act like adults, but they don't want to act like adults. Adults, start fucking acting like adults. Stop trying to be your fucking kid's best friend and start being a goddamn parent. How about that? Ugh.
Question for the crystal brain. What comes next for the next generation? Do the 25-year-olds become 45 and go, oh, God, what have we done? Or does the pendulum swing back the other way?
I hope
What's next?
They all OD on fentanyl. And we don't have this problem anymore.
Right.
But look.
I'll jot that down.
You raise your kid to be your best friend. You raise your kid not as the parent, but as buds. Then that fucking kid goes off to college and hangs out with a bunch of fucking like-minded retards. And do not expect it to stay on the college campuses. Those people who are infected are going right to the New York Times. They're going to ABC. They're going to Twitter. They're going to all the Fortune 500 companies. I talk to guys, like, I'll give you a real good example. I talked to a guy when Dr. Drew and I were doing our show. He was at Google. He is at Google. And he's a 50-year-old guy. And he's like, we were there when they were, like, canceling Parler the other week. And he's like, let me tell you what it used to be like back in the day, like the internet. Everyone was a libertarian. Everyone was like, the internet, open up, free exchange of ideas. There's no cancel culture for the guys that are 50. But he said, we got a bunch of fucking 26-year-olds that want to shut it down. They want to tell everyone what to say, what to think, and now they're in charge. And if you're the 50-year-old guy, you're going to get shit canned if you start speaking up. Where did these fucking kids come from? They came from families that raised them with super high self-esteem, that treated them like, co-workers instead of parents and children. They made their way onto college campuses. The fucking poisoning continued, and now they're working at Google, and they're calling the fucking shots. So there's one choice. Push back. Stop apologizing. Start fucking swatting these kids and telling them they don't understand life. You don't understand life when you're 23. Shut up. Let the adults do the thinking. But everyone apologizes, and it doesn't help. Yeah.
Cut to the kid who makes millions of dollars opening toys on YouTube being the president in 20 years.
That's
Ryan.
right.
His name's Ryan?
Trust me, I've seen so much of this kid in this house lately. Oh, he's the worst. In fact, I don't have a lot of rules here because, we don't, we're pretty cool, me and the kid. But but he knows that if we're going to watch something, no Ryan when I'm home. I can't watch it. I don't like it, and we don't watch it.
Adam, are you aware of this kid?
Yeah.
No.
Ryan?
He makes about $30 million a year opening toys that companies send to him for free on YouTube.
How old is he?
Like 9.
Yeah, but after taxes.
True.
I guess he's precocious,
Thanks,
but
Adam
he's
Ray.
not. He doesn't have star quality. I don't know why his face is on every target.
How did he get picked? But does he have a sense of entitlement when he's opening the toys? Like, does he scoff at like a new G.I. Joe? He's
I
like,
was going to say worse. He has a sense of boredom.
oh, God.
Yeah. And speaking of not apologizing, I refer to I'll call my stepson as the kid or the little one or the 5-year-old. And that's, a thing that I have no control over on a personal level. But somebody just tweeted me yesterday out of nowhere. I mean, it wasn't a debate or anything. Somebody said, I have it right here, and I think Gary has it. Gina, I love you. You know this. I don't know who this is. But some people feel that referring to their child as the kid is demeaning. I have had no response to this. I had a lot of responses in my head. Like, well, some people should go fucking fry ice. Go fuck yourself. Worry about your own kid. Like, I had so many things going through my mind. And I thought to give a tweet like this any attention is not something I'm going to do. He's my quote unquote kid. And we work our asses off to give him a good and healthy and stable life. And if you don't like the name I call him, go fuck yourself. I don't know what to tell you.
Gina.
We have a good family here. We have a perfect situation. There's a reason his privacy is protected. And yeah, you go eat a bag of dicks. I'm not cowering to this.
Well, first off, we're taping this on my People's Sabbath, so I'd appreciate you reeling in the language a little bit. You and Adam wouldn't know. But this is my People's Sabbath. Number one, so watch the language. Number two, why don't you just switch to douche nozzle like I did?
Perfect.
I used to call my son kid a lot. I got a little heat on the internet, so I just swapped it to douche nozzle.
That's, you know what, that might be next, because nobody is more loved or protected than this child. And there's a reason for that. So yeah, go pound sand, everybody.
Dr. Phil, I prefer people stop calling people a douche bag and call them a douche nozzle, because I feel like the bag is far away, but the nozzle's really the business end. You know,
well, you're exactly right, and I'm glad you brought this point up, because it's something that's been on my mind, okay, for the last 6 seasons, which is the bag is full. We filled up the bag with douche, okay. Mm-hmm. It's time to find another way to express our hatred and genuine anger towards others, but still in a fun way. Mm-hmm. Douche nozzle. Sounds like, first of all, it sounds like a Nick Jr. character. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know what sort of voice douche nozzle would have. He'd probably have, kind of a, hey, guy, he's somewhat of a loner type, but he's packing heat downstairs, if you know what I'm saying. Wink, wink, huge cock. But he's, it's, if we can start calling each other names that make us laugh at the same time, then I think we can start progressing in a way. And if I may, Gina, calling him the kid is in my eyes kind of a heroic thing. When I think of the kid, I think of the Disney movie The Kid with Bruce Willis. I think of King Griffey Jr. Oh. Okay, both great things. Okay, so that's a great nickname to have. And first of all, and lastly, it's your fucking business. So whoever tweeted that to you can suck on a douche nozzle, okay? Nice. Can eat that bag of dicks that Adam said that are probably on sale at Trader Joe's, okay? And then you can take your own thumb, put it up your own ass, okay? Count to 20, and when you get to 19, pull it out and poke yourself in the eye. We'll be right back.
Phil, I should tell you, I don't think you heard this, but it is my People's Sabbath today, and I'd really kind of appreciate the language.
Oh,
God
down a fucking bit. Christ almighty fucking cocksucker. Fuck, I'm so fucking sorry. God shit and fucking, God damn it. You know what? I fucking told myself to not fucking curse on this show today, but fucking shit. My bad. Fuck.
Kid is also...
I am in a breakfast nook. I'm in a complimentary breakfast room, so I guess I felt safe. It's a safe space.
Yeah.
Kid is a great Pretender song, by the way. Those should know.
And, I wasn't going to say this because I never thought it would come up. But if I can just put a finer point on this, and I should pull his baseball glove out because it's monogrammed on there, had that done. We don't even call him by his name in this house. We don't call him by his name when we're referring to him. I made up a nickname for him a long time ago, and we all call him that, and he calls himself that.
That's awesome.
And we call him Kid Boy.
A little redundant, but good.
But that's what's so funny about it. And he goes, why do you call me that? I go, you're Kid Boy. And
that's something that you guys came up with together, so it's extra special.
Exactly.
It's like, instead of having a name pre-G.
Exactly. So we all have nicknames. I'm wearing, he got me a Valentine's bracelet right now with the initial L on it because he doesn't call me Gina. We have nicknames for each other. So everyone, go fuck.
Yeah, I call my stepdad Better Dad, and then I call... I call my brother-in-law Dirte Captain Queef. So it's like there's all, but that's only because he has a new song out, and I think it's called that. Oh. By the way, Dirte posted something on Facebook yesterday that said a picture of a mic, and it said "The asshole is back. Get ready." # I think Judgment Day. I'm paraphrasing. It was ominous. It was scary. It was Dirte. Check it out.
I call my stepdad Fake Dad, but all right, let's do one more, Gina Grant.
All right. Well, let's go from one end of the spectrum of people we don't respect to people we do respect, and it's a condolence. Danny Ray. He was the man who opened 1,000 curtains for James Brown. He draped the sequin velvet cape over James Brown. He has died at the age of 85. Daniel Brown Ray was born 1935, Birmingham, Alabama, and his death was confirmed by James Brown's daughter, who called him the original hype man. And I'm going to play you a clip where I think we can all agree that that's true. Ray's cape routine started in 1962 and helped cement Brown's flamboyant image even before he catapulted to worldwide celebrity as the Godfather of Soul. He always do the bit where he's, he can't get up and the cape's draped around him. And it was just this great performance. But he gets less credit for being the man who would bring James Brown out on stage. And here's a clip of one of many of these appearances.
I'd like to know one thing. Are you ready for the Super Brother? Are you ready for the Super Brother music for the soul? He's blackophonic, dynamic, heritage, and funky. Music for the third world. Ladies and gentlemen, doing it on his good foot, Super Brother himself. He's got a bag of his own. Ladies and gentlemen, Soul Brother number 1, James Brown.
It'd be the worst hype person in the world. My mom. My mom would be like...
It's debatable.
A lot of people think my son's funny, but I think he's... Well, I don't know if he's here because he has to be. Anyway... obviously we disagree on many things politically, but his kids are, one of them likes him. So even though we didn't really know he was funny when he was growing up, even though we lived in a small house together, we never, but now apparently others will pay to hear him talk, which is so different, so foreign for us, but maybe we know another side of him. But anyway, he's going to be out here. He's going to do an hour, and should some of that. I am not familiar with the material, but I think I probably disagree with a lot of it. But anyway, my son Alan. Oh, I'm sorry,
Adam.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm not used to public speaking. Adam,
neither is he.
Yeah, Adam's going to come up here and I don't know. Wow, we used quite the right term, but you're here, so I guess you like him. Anyway, Alan.
Adam.
Okay, Adam. Where's your stepdad, John? Is he back? Is he in the green room? Okay. Oh, fake dad. Okay. All right. Well, my. Carolla is his father's name, and we're divorced. So, but he still, you know what? Here he is, and we're gonna enjoy as much of the act as it takes us to get out to the lobby, because John wants a latte, and then what we'll do is we'll just, all right, here he goes. That would be my mom.
Oh my God,
the great Chris Carolla.
What's sad is I would pay more to go see that show.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
That's
once.
that's classic.
Dennis Prager said to me when we were doing this event in Arizona, he said when he was like 20, he came out with a book or something, and they came out like a big cardboard cutout picture of him. And he said his mom took the big cardboard promotional book thing, cardboard cutout picture, and put it in the house where they lived in Brooklyn. And he said, does your mom have a big picture of you in her house? And I said, my mom doesn't have a picture of me in her head.
Well done.
Oh,
yes,
good.
And I mean it. All right, she'll be missed even though she's still here. Let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
Last but not least, we got Geico. Do you own? Do you rent? Well, you do one or the other. How about you get your bundle going with Geico? Geico makes it easy to bundle those policies. You take your automotive policy and you bundle it up with your homeowners or your renter's insurance. You go to geico.com, you get a quote, you see just how much you could save. And Geico makes it so easy. So visit geico.com today. Get your bundle started at geico.com. The great Adam Ray, Young Rock premieres tomorrow on, is it NBC? Straight ahead.
NBC. Yeah, NBC.
Congratulations. Also, live dates, March 5th, 6th. The Rock Box, San Antonio, Texas, and then March 13th March 11th through the 13th, Hyenas, Dallas. So God bless you. And the podcast about last night. Always great to talk to Adam Ray.
This was awesome.
And you can catch me February 26th, 27th, Oklahoma City, Bricktown Comedy Club. We'll do some live pod there and some stand-up there as well. You go to adamcarolla.com and find out about all the live dates. Until next time, Adam Carolla for Gina Grad and Adam Ray saying mahalo.